Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Just me today, as we have a decent amount to get through. We have NFL, we have NBA, we have NHL. Quick, a recap of yesterday, and woof. Yeah, that was ugly. That was really, really ugly yesterday. As BetStamp won't load. There we go. Down 14.22 units. Ouch. Yeah, it was no bueno yesterday. College football, Army minus 6.5. They win by 5, so that was a loser there. Michigan plus 20. How about they win outright? Michigan outright as they shut out Ohio State in the second half. They win 13-10. Wow. Kansas gets blown out there. West Virginia gets blown out. North Texas and Temple sails under at over 63.5. It finishes at 41. Let's continue through college football. Middle Tennessee plus 9.5. They lose by 11. UAB plus 110. They lose by 2. I could have taken the points and been fine there. Arizona plus 9.5 gets blown out. I did get Alabama. I did get Notre Dame. So 2 winners there. UNC minus 3. That was annoying as they lose the third quarter 22-10 and lose the game 35-20. So that was brutal. Rutgers plus 105. Don't know why Michigan State was favored in that game. Georgia Southern money line was a winner there. They beat App State. And then what was the other ones? Oh, Washington was a loser. I had them plus 19.5. They lose by 28. Texas minus 5 was a winner. And then Hawaii at the end of the night plus 3.5 was a winner. They win 38-30 over New Mexico. College basketball wasn't much better. Seton Hall minus 12.5. They lose outright. Wisconsin minus 33.5. They win by 21. Central Arkansas plus 22.5. They lose by 19. So that was a winner there. Green Bay minus 5. They lose outright to Campbell. Robert Morris plus 10.5. They lose by 16. Indiana State minus 3.5. They win by 3. So I got hooked on that one. Mount St. Mary's plus 7.5. They do win outright against Howard. So that was a nice one there. UC Riverside minus 3.5. They lose outright. Furman plus 21.5. They lose by 35. Rice plus 8.5. They win outright. That was a good one there. Fullerton plus 4.5. Loser. Sacramento State minus 8.5. They lose outright. Stanford minus 14.5. They lose outright. So an ugly, ugly day yesterday there. NHL was not much better. Montreal plus 165. Loser. Carolina, they get blown out by Florida 6-0. That was a loser there. St. Louis minus 1. They lose outright. New Jersey minus 1. They lose outright. Tampa Bay plus 120. They lose as well. 0-5 in the NHL. Yeah. And then in the NBA, the only thing that went well yesterday was the NBA. I had 2 plays. Charlotte plus 4.5. They cover there in 107-104 loss against Atlanta. And then the good old reliable team total overs against the Washington Wizards. As wow, they just got it. 124-114 win for the Milwaukee Bucks. They get over their team total by the hook. So overall, a terrible, terrible day yesterday. We'll head to the chat. There is no chat. Reminder, today starts the new contest. If you guys want to sign up for the contest, members only. If you hit negative 20 units, you are eliminated. It is a $50 prize for first place. If we get up to 20 members, it'll be 100. And then spreads, totals, money lines, team totals, player props are all fine. Parleys are not, and neither are plays minus 300 or higher. So there we go. But we will get into today's card where we have the NFL, the Washington Commanders and the Tennessee Titans. The Commanders -6, total 44.5 in this game. The Commanders have kind of struggled as of late. They've lost a few in a row. Let me get all my numbers up here. This look-ahead line was a 7.5, opened up at a 5.5, and now it's up to a 6. So we do have a move towards the Washington Commanders. And then on the total, look-ahead line was a 44.5, opening line 44. It's now a 44.5. So we do have a move towards the over here as well as a move towards the Commanders. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one here, 58% of tickets, 62% of cash is on the Commanders here to bounce back after the loss last week against the Dallas Cowboys. They've now lost 3 in a row to Pittsburgh, Philly, and Dallas. And then 70% of tickets, 71% of cash on the over as well. We also have the Tennessee Titans coming in off of a win against the Houston Texans. So that was really nice for me to see the Texans lose a game last matchup there. But I don't have much interest in this game. I was looking maybe towards the Commanders here, laying the number. Now it's up to a 6.5 in some spots, which tells me they're probably the Commanders in this game. If I'm looking to bet a side here, it'd be Washington or nothing. You have actually really like this. The more and more I look at it, the more and more I like this spot for Washington. They're coming in off of a bad loss. And the Titans are coming in off of probably their best win of the year. So I'm actually going to move on it here. Washington -6, -105. I didn't think I was going to be moving on this spot, but here we are. I thought my original thought heading into the week was this would probably be dog or pass, but the more and more I look at it, the more and more the Commanders make sense in this game. So I'm going to lay the 6 at -105 over on Caesars with the Washington Commanders for this game to get the day started. Still no chat, so we will move on to the second game. Chargers -1 at the Atlanta Falcons. Total 47.5. Let's get into the line history in this one. Look at line, pick 'em. Opening line -1.5 for the Chargers. It's now down to a -1. So we have a half-point line movement here towards Atlanta. Look at line 46. Opening line 47. Now it's a 47.5. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one, where we have, where is this game? Falcons. There we go. Where we have 63% of tickets, 56% of cash on the Chargers, and the line's moving towards the Falcons, which is interesting there. 71% of tickets, 68% of cash is on the over, and the line is moving towards said over. The Chargers are coming in off of a loss. They lost on Monday Night Football, so they have a little bit of a shorter week for this matchup. The Falcons are coming in off of their worst loss of the season. They got blown out in their last game. It was a 38-6 loss against the against the Denver Broncos, and then they get their bye week, and then they get today's game. So this is, I think, a decent spot for maybe a play on the Atlanta Falcons. If I'm looking at this game, it would be Atlanta or nothing. The market's kind of liking Atlanta as well. I'm moving towards Atlanta, public on Charger. I'm actually going to move on Atlanta here. Two spots that I didn't think I was going to be betting heading into the card. I'm going to be on here. Atlanta at even money over on Bet365. Give me the Falcons. Give me the Dirty Birds in this one here. Even money against the Chargers for this one. Mark, you like the over? I would lean over. I would lean over in this game if I'm betting the total. Atlanta money line, yes, Atlanta money line for that one. So yeah, the more and more I look at the slate, I thought this was a poor slate, and I didn't really like too much. Now I've already moved on the first two games that I didn't have heading into it. So let's move on. A game I did move on. And this is a contest play for me. Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are -3 in this game, total 46.5. So it's either that they continue to sleep on the Pittsburgh Steelers, or this is a trap. And I'm going to lean towards the first option there, that they continue to sleep on the Steelers a little bit here. And the Steelers are coming in off of a loss. Now, both these teams have extended rest for this game. It was a pseudo bye week for the Steelers. They played last Thursday against the Cleveland Browns. They did lose that game, 24-19. The Bengals have lost back-to-back games against the Chargers, against the Ravens in their last two. It's been a minute since, and they were on a bye week last week as well. So definitely a interesting situation for both these teams. I took the +3 with the Steelers. And let's get into the line history here for this one real quick, where we have this line, look ahead line 2, opening line 2.5, and it's up to a 3. And let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot here, where, all right, 71% of tickets and 67% of cash is on the Steelers. So they are public. Not something I don't like being on the public side. Public have been dominating the NFL this year, so watch the one time I bet a public side, it's going to get destroyed. But I'm on the Steelers +3. I would like to challenge the Bengals to cover as a favorite, because I just don't trust them to do that. So for me in the spot, the Steelers +3 in this one. Bengals money line, Canadians, Flyers, Canes were brutal. Caps, yeah. Leafs, Wild, Flames were no good. Sens, no good. Isles, how about them Islanders last night? That was good. That was nice to see. Sharks +1.5, Avs money line. Utah, 8 for, there you go. Steelers money line, yeah, it can go both ways, but Bengals need a win. Yeah, it's what, their 4th or 5th consecutive must-win game. I'm just not a believer in the Cincinnati Bengals team. Bengals are basically out of the playoffs. Yeah, I need them to show it to me first before I have no interest in fading them. I have no interest in backing the Cincinnati Bengals right now. They're unbackable for me. Unbackable. So we'll move on. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the New England Patriots. The Colts -2.5, total of 42.5 in this game here. Line open, look ahead line 2.5, opening line 2.5, still a 2.5. It did tick up to a 3 for a couple hours on the 26th and went right back down to a 2.5. So a quick buyback on the Patriots once it hit that. Look ahead line 42.5, opening line 42.5. Now it's still a 42.5. It dipped down to a 42, but immediate buyback. We have 67% of tickets and 53% of the cash on the Colts, and the line's not moved. 33% of tickets and 63% of cash on the under. So the under looking a little sharp in this game if you're looking at the total on this spot. I'm not really looking too much at the total or the side. This one is a pass for me. I think the best way to approach this game is to maybe tie the New England Patriots in a teaser, get them up to 8.5. I think that's a decent look. As they kind of fit the criteria for it. They're 1.5 to 2.5 point dog and a total below 40, 9.5. So it would be Patriots and a teaser or nothing. That would be the way I would approach this. I just don't know who. I don't know who else. If you can get a 1.5 on the Falcons, you can tease them up. That would be the two spots there. It would be probably Falcons and Patriots would be a 2-team teaser I'd be interested in, but that would be the only way I approach this game here is throwing the Patriots in a teaser. Patriots, yeah, I would only look towards New England. That would be the only side I would look towards. Let's continue on. The Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is down to a 3.5 now, total 44 in this spot. Taking a look at the line history, look ahead line 6, opening line 4.5, and it's down to a 3.5. Look ahead line 43, opening line 43. It's now 44. So a move towards the over and a move towards Jacksonville in this game. 84% of tickets, 84% of cash on the Texans, and the line moved towards the Jaguars here. 79% of tickets, 88% of cash is on the over as well. Yes, the Jaguars look very, very difficult to back right now. There's just one thing I do not trust, though, with these Houston Texans is them as a favorite. They covered against New England, they covered against Dallas, and that's the only time they've covered as a favorite this year. This Houston Texans team, they're the only time they're any good is at a dog price. They were 3-point favorites against the Colts week 1, didn't cover. They pushed as 6-point favorites against the Bears. They didn't cover. They lost outright as 1.5-point favorites versus the Vikings. The last time they played this Jaguars team, they won 24-20. They did not cover as 5.5-point favorites. They did cover against the Patriots, but they didn't cover against the Colts in a 23-20 win in week 8. They did cover against the Lions, but they were a dog. They covered against the Cowboys with that 34-10 win, and they lose outright as 8-point favorites against the Tennessee Titans last week. And yeah, usually I'd be like, yeah, this is a great bounce back spot for the Texans, except for I am not a believer in the Houston Texans. I think that this is a team that was overrated heading into the year. Seeing them lose 4 of their last 6 games is very nice. I need them to continue losing. And for me, I got in late with the Jaguars. I wish I could have gotten that 4.5 number. But anything above a field goal, I will advocate for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you can get them now plus 3.5 minus 105 over on DraftKings for those interested. I'm on Jacksonville in this game. I will look to everything kind of correlated for me here in this spot. Jags for me. Houston, Texans first half, Patriots under 42.5. By the half point, Houston -3. All right. I'm on an island. That's kind of where I like to be. Unfortunately, though, when I'm on an island, the public is cashed like crazy this year. So who knows? Who knows? We'll move on. Another spot that I'd probably be against a bunch of people on. We have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where the look-ahead line was a 3. The opening line was a 3.5, and it's still a 3.5. It's moved a few cents towards Arizona. Look-ahead line 47, opening line 46.5. It's down to a 45, so we'll move towards the under here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this spot, where we have 65% tickets, 71% of cash is on the Vikings, and the lines move slightly towards the Cardinals. In this game, 79% of tickets, 91% of cash is on the over in this spot as well. Give me the Cardinals at the plus price tag in this game. When we look at this Minnesota Vikings team, yeah, they've been good this year. 9-2, massively overachieving still, in my opinion. We managed to cash a ticket against them last week with the Chicago Bears. I can see a very similar game this week with the Vikings. The Vikings are 2-4 ATS in their last 6 games, so they've not been covering as much lately. The Cardinals are off of a bad loss against the Seattle Seahawks, and this is an important game for them to try to keep ground in the divisional race in the West there. Give me the Cardinals plus the 3.5. I'll take a shot with the dog here in this spot, and that is a contest play for me. Yeah. Islands win. Yeah, I can see that. Cards money line. Suppness, James Conner over rush yards. Yeah. I mean, Texans are always overvalued, but the Jags are just so bad. And that's fair. But we'll continue on. This is probably one of the easiest pass games on the card. Seattle Seahawks, New York Jets. 2 teams that I would rather bet against than bet on at the moment. This line opened up. Look at line Jets -1. Opening line Seahawks -1.5. Now it's back to Jets -1. Look ahead line 43.5. Opening line 42. We're down to a 41, but it is juiced towards the over. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game here between the Jets and the Seahawks. 72% of the tickets and 75% of the cash is on the Seahawks spread, 74 and 86 on the money line. Yet this line's gone from dog to favorite for the Jets. I'm not messing with that, though. I've seen so many times the Jets have been the sharp side. The markets have been back in the Jets, and then they lose the game. I'm tired of it. So they'll probably win this game because I'm not betting them. 75% of tickets, 65% of cash on the over, and lines dropping towards the under. I would only look under the total in this game. I think the Seahawks are fraudulent, and I'm not interested in backing the Jets. But this does have the feel of a few weeks ago when the Jets played the Texans, where everybody bet against the Jets, and the Jets came out and actually won a game. It'd be Jets or pass if I had to bet anything in this game, but I have no interest in this spot whatsoever. Seahawks money line. Jets are always overvalued. I don't know if they're overvalued anymore, honestly. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. I can see that. Seahawks are a lot worse on the road. Fair. Let's keep it going. Another contest play for me here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. The Bucs, 6-point favorites, total 46.5 in this game. Take a look at the line history in this one here. Look ahead line, 6.5. Opening line, 6. Did dip down to a 5.5 for a couple hours, but it's been basically a 6 all week. Look ahead line, 44. Opening line, 43.5, all the way up to a 46.5. So we have a decent move towards the over here as well, which doesn't surprise me. The Panthers defensively have been bad this year. 72% of tickets, 84% of cash is on the Panthers in this game. 82% of tickets, 76% of cash on the Bucs in this game. The line's not moving. I like what I've seen from the Panthers as of late. Yes, they lost last week, but they played the Chiefs, and the NFL followed the same script for the Chiefs last week that they've done basically every single game this year, and that is the Chiefs win in a close game. The Panthers have now covered 3 in a row. They won outright back-to-back weeks against the Giants and the Saints as touchdown underdogs. They covered as 11-point dogs last week. I'm interested. My bad. I'm not interested. I went back to them this week. I'm on the Panthers. I got them at I believe at +6 for this game because it's been sitting at 6 all week. I can get my bad. I can get a 6.5 -110 over on Bovada. So I forgot to bet them last night. I'm on the Panthers in this game. I'll take the 6.5 points in this spot with them. I like this. I like the way they've been playing as of late. Their offense has looked a little bit better. They've put up at least 20 points in 3 straight games. And on the flip side, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in off of their a blowout win. Granted, they played the Giants, but they're coming in off of a blowout win last game. So I would like to fade them after that as well. So I'm on the Carolina Panthers here with the points. This team has been covering as of late. And I will look for them to do the same today. So I got +6.5 -110 Carolina Panthers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But come on, it's the Jets. Yeah. Did Carolina get better? I'm starting to think they cover, especially after the Bucs destroyed last week. Yeah, I think they're improving. And when we look at the Carolina Panthers, their schedule coming up is not easy. They go to Philadelphia next week, and then they play Dallas and Arizona. I think that Dallas game is a winnable game for them. I think this is a winnable game for them, and I need to find one more win on their schedule. If they can beat the Buccaneers and they can beat the Cowboys, I need to find one more win on their schedule for that over 5.5 wins. I think that is alive still. I do think the Panthers over 5.5 wins is alive, which was my biggest future of the year. So I'm hoping they can do it. Over 46.5. Yeah, I would only look over. And maybe if you don't want to trust the Panthers to cover, the Panthers team total over is worth a look as well. 3 games remaining in the NFL. We have the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. The Rams 2.5-point favorites in this game, total 49.5 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history. Look ahead line -2.5. Opening line where would be wrong date. Okay. Opening line would be 2.5, and it's still a 2.5, a couple cent line movement towards the Rams. Look ahead line 46, opening line 46.5, and it's now 49. So a big move towards the over here as well. 75% of tickets, 71% of cash on the Rams. The line's moving slightly towards them. 65% of tickets, 69% of cash is on the over here as well. And the lines move towards the over in this spot. Pass here for me. I would only look towards the Rams. I do not want to be on a side that public, though. Rams, this is a big game for them to try to keep pace in the division, coming in off of that loss against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football last week. The Saints have won back-to-back games now, so they're starting to play a little bit better. I still am not a believer in this New Orleans Saints team. I'm still riding out their under win total. So I'll be rooting for the Rams in this game, but with no action in it. No action here for me. Rams, yeah, that'd be the only way I would look in that game. Let's move on. 2 games left, and this is the last of the contest plays for me. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Baltimore Ravens. We have the Ravens -3, total 51 in this game. Look at line 3, opening line 2.5, and now it's up to a 3. So we have a move towards the Ravens on this one here. Look at line 51.5, opening line 51, and it's still a 51 with a couple of cent line movement towards the under in this game here. I did a free pick video game on this game last night. Give me the Baltimore Ravens laying the 3 in this game. 68% of tickets, 64% of cash is on the Eagles, and the lines move towards the Ravens. 70% of tickets and 82% of cash is on the over in this one as well. The Eagles have won 7 straight games, and yet they're dogs in this spot here. They take on the Ravens, who are coming in off of a 30-23 win on Sunday Night Football last week against the Chargers. Or was it Monday night or is it Sunday night? It was Monday night. My bad. Monday night game against the Chargers. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. And 8 of their last 10. This is a Ravens team that since starting 0-10 has been one of the better teams in the league. Their defense still worries me a little bit, but it's gotten better over the last couple of weeks. They really shut down the Chargers in the second half there in their last game. The Eagles, yes, they're playing really well as of late, but nobody really wants the Ravens in this spot. I'll take a shot with them here, -3 in this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have a big, massive look at it spot next week to the Panthers. I'm joking, obviously. I mean, the Ravens have the Giants next week, so it's not like they have either of these teams have a look at spot for their next game. But I'm on the Ravens laying 3 in this game. Can't get over both that Bears and Raiders games ended. I was on Bears and Raiders money line. Ouch. Ravens money line, under 51. Yeah, I can kind of see the under. Henry and Barkley over rushing. Yeah, Lamar is the better quarterback, but the Eagles have a better defense. Can't wait to watch this one. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Yeah, I think it's the number 2 team in the AFC versus the number 2 team in the NFC. If you have power rankings. Let's move on. Final game of the night. San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, 6-point favorites in this game, total 44.5. Look ahead line, 3.5. Opening line, 7. That was with the injuries, of course. And now we're seeing it's gone all the way down to a 6. So we have a move towards the Niners in this game. Look ahead line, 47. Opening line, 45.5. Now down to a 44. Obviously, I think that the line movement is purely weather because we're starting to see snow in Buffalo. So that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. 51% of tickets, 76% of cash is on the Bills. The line's moving against them. 85% of tickets and 51% of cash on the over, and the line's moving towards the under. So I understand the move towards the under. I do. Not a game I'm getting involved with. It would be Niners or nothing at this number, but I feel like there are better spots on the card earlier, and just because it's the primetime game does not mean we need to bet it. So no action for me on Sunday Night Football. Bills -6. I can see that. 49ers are the worst. Even with a fully healthy team, I would still go Bills -10. Wow. Okay. Let's go Bills. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not backing the Niners, but yeah. We'll make the transition, though, from NFL to NBA. we have the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. They're taking on the Brooklyn Nets. The Magic, 6.5-point favorites in this game. Total 209 in the spot. Very low total for this game. Opening line 8.5. It's now down to a 6.5. And then the opening line is a 209.5 down to a 208. So expecting the Brooklyn Nets to play some good defense here are the books in this one, or is the line history in this one. 89% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over, and the line's moving towards the under. And then 46% of tickets and 54% of cash is on the Nets in this game here. So we have a move towards Brooklyn. We have a move towards the over, or towards the under in this one here. We have and the markets are agreeing with that Brooklyn Nets move. I do not like the Orlando Magic on the road. This is a team at home. Yeah, I have no problem backing the Magic at home. On the road, not as much. They have won 3 games in a row on the road. They just played this Brooklyn Nets team and they blew them out 123-100 last game as 8-point favorites. They've won and covered 5 straight games and 9 of their last 10, this Orlando Magic team. On the flip side, the Brooklyn Nets, they had their 3-game winning streak and covering streak snapped last game with that blowout loss against the Orlando Magic. It was their first game at home after a 4-game road trip where they went to Philadelphia, Sacramento, Golden State, and Phoenix. It wasn't a good spot for those Orlando Magic and or for the Brooklyn Nets. I want to take a shot at the Nets in this game. I think they're worth a look in this spot with them this being a back to back against each other, 2 games in a row against each other. And I'm getting +7 over on Bovada at -115. Give me some Brooklyn action here to get my day started in the NBA. I think everything kind of correlates in that spot to take a chance there with the Nets. So I'll take the plus. I got +7 with them over on Bovada. +7 Brooklyn Nets against the Orlando Magic. I got Bills -5.5 last night. All right, there you go. NBA's Sunday upset. NBA upset Sundays. Give me the Nets money line. There you go. Under 209. I would lean in that way as well. So maybe that is a team total under for the Orlando Magic. Maybe that would be a good way to approach it as well. But I'll just take the points in this game because I like this. I like this spot for the Nets there. Let's keep it going. Keeping a brisk pace today. The Indiana Pacers and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies 6.5-point favorites, total of 243.5 in this game. I was stunned seeing a total this high when I was typing up this morning. Line opened up at a 6. It's now a 6.5, so we even moved towards the over. Line opened up at a 237, and it has skyrocketed up to the 243.5. I mean, I feel like this total is high for a reason. Both these teams rarely play any defense. Take a look at the cash flow. 58% of tickets, 57% of cash on the under. The line's just continuing to truck towards the over. 65% of tickets and 70% of cash is on the Grizzlies as well. Both these teams have been over teams this year. 14-6 to the over for Indiana, 13-7 to the over for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, 7-3 the last 10 for the Pacers and 6-4 the last 10 for the Grizzlies towards the over. This is just a high number. I feel like we've missed our number in this spot if you like the over in this game. The Pacers are coming in off of a 24-point loss against the Detroit Pistons in their last game. And the Memphis Grizzlies have won 5 in a row. They've covered in 4 of them. The only one they didn't. They got hooked as 11.5-point favorites, winning by 11 in their last game against the New Orleans Pelicans. A game I really don't have any interest in. I wanted to maybe back an over, but not after it's moved 6 points. It's just I don't need to get on the ass end of a line move like that. So ultimately, this is a stay-off spot for me. But I would only look towards the over in this game. But I think we just missed our line. The Grizz cover. I can see the Grizzlies covering in this game. I can see it. We'll keep it going, though, with probably the matchup of the day. The Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Celtics 1-point favorite in this game, total of 233.5. Line opened up at a 3 and immediately went down to a 2, then went down to a 1. So we've had a 2-point line moving here towards the Cavaliers. Line opened up 236.5. It's now down to 233.5. So we even moved towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 75% of tickets, 74% of cash is on the Celtics spread, 70 and 55 on the money line, and yet the line's moving towards the Cavaliers. This tells me Cleveland is probably the play in this game. 71% of tickets and 60% of the cash is on the over here as well. We're getting the Boston Celtics, who are 16-3 this year as a dog, or as my bet, a reasonable pick-em price. They're not a dog, they're a pick-em. The Celtics have won 7 games in a row. They're coming in off of a win but no cover against the Chicago Bulls as 12-point favorites. The Cavaliers are coming in off of back-to-back losses to the Atlanta Hawks as 9 and 5.5 point favorites. They lost both games against the Atlanta Hawks. That was kind of surprising to see. And I'm not saying this is a get-right game because obviously it's tough to get right against arguably the best team in the NBA in the Boston Celtics, but this is for number 1 seed in the NBA. And I'm going to take a shot here. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers at even money in this spot. And yes, I don't like making it a habit to bet against the Boston Celtics, and I haven't done it very often this year. But I'll take a shot here. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers even money against the Boston Celtics. Kind of bounce back after 2 bad losses against Atlanta. I'll take a shot here with Cleveland. Weird game, yeah. Cavs money line, Cavs money line, Cavs money line. Oh boy, this line's a trap. Trap for Celtics bettors. It would be trying to invite Celtics money like they've gotten, I'm assuming. But we'll move on here to the next one. Toronto Raptors and Miami Heat. We have the Heat as 4.5 point favorites in this game with a total of 221.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. Open up at 3.5. It's now 4.5. So we do have a 1 point line movement towards the Heat. Line opened up 223. It's down to a 221.5. So we have a 1.5 line movement towards the under in this game as well. 69% of the tickets and 63% of the cash is on the Miami Heat, and the line's moving towards them. And then we have 81% of tickets, 78% of the cash is on the over, and the line's moving towards the what's the line moving towards the over? I forgot where the line was moving there. The line has moved towards the under, 1.5. I don't really have an interest in laying points with Miami on the road. 9-8 straight up, 8-9 over under, 4-4 on the road. Granted, the Raptors 5-15 straight up, but 13-7 ATS. They are 4-4 at home, but they're 1-11 on the road. Their only road win this year was against the New Orleans Pelicans, but this is their first game back at home after a 4-game road trip. 2 spots. I don't want to bet either team. I guess Miami. This is their first game on the road. Is it the first game of a road trip? Yeah, they go. Oh, but they do have Boston coming up next. So yeah, no, I have no interest in this game whatsoever. It's a simple pass in this one. Both teams not in the greatest of situations. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. So some appreciation, subscribe, and share. Timmy, you know the rest of the saying. My dog, nice NBA slate with a little NFL. Let's go. There we go. Let's get in cash. Why in the world would the Celtics be a dog in a revenge game when the Cavs lose 2 in a row against Atlanta? Yeah. Good betting day. Yeah, hopefully it is. Raptors money line. I can see it. I got the Cavs at 2, now a 1. There you go. Weird game. Raps plus 4.5. That would probably be the lean here. Would be the Raptors. But let's continue on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NBA games left before we get into the NHL. And we have the New York Knicks taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Line open up at a 12.5 down to a 12. Line open up at a 228 down to a 224.5. A big move towards the under in this game here, which is not surprising with the way that the Pelicans have shot the ball so far this season. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 56% of tickets and 64% cash on the Knicks. The line's moving against them from a 12.5 down to a 12. 58% of tickets. Oh, nope, wrong game. 65% of tickets, 59% cash on the over. And the line has moved towards the under a lot. The Knicks are coming in off of a win, but absolutely not a cover as 13-point dogs, 13-point favorites. They won by 1 against the Hornets. On the flip side, we have the Pelicans coming in. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They're 4-16 this year, 7-13 ATS. They're 1-9 on the road. I would only look towards the Pelicans in this game, and this could be Pelicans' first quarter. Knicks coming back after a long road trip. They were in Phoenix, Utah, Denver, Dallas, and Charlotte. So it was a 5-game road trip that spanned over the Thanksgiving holiday. And I think this is a tricky spot for the Knicks in this game. I would only look Pelicans. Pelicans' first quarter would be a lean for me in this one if I had to bet anything in this spot. But I think this is a pretty simple pass. No need to get involved in this game. No, yeah, I'm sorry. Very disappointing. These Knicks are so overrated. Pels money line. There you go. Pels plus 12. Coming at the best part of the show besides the NFL. There you go. Under 224. This is Bailey. Yes. All I need is one of these big dogs to cash, and one of them will. There you go. Pass on Toronto game. Lee and Raps plus in a get back from the other night. There you go. Let's keep it going. Interesting matchup here. The Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Houston Rockets in this game. We have the Thunder as 1.5-point road favorites with a total of 220. Remember when we were hyping up this? We were hyping up this Thunder team preseason, and in the beginning of the season they look really good. I believe they've kind of struggled as of late, if I remember right. If I'm remembering the right team. Now, granted, never mind. They're 15-4, and they're coming in off of 4 straight wins. I don't know what team I was thinking. I think it was the Phoenix Suns. I was thinking of the Phoenix Suns. But yeah, let's take a look at the line history in this one here. Line opened up at a 3. It's down to a 1.5. So we do have a movement towards the Houston Rockets. Line opened up 226. It's down to a 220. So we'll move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have the Houston Rockets. Or the Thunder, 62% of tickets, 65% of cash is on them, and the Lions moved against them. Then we have 31% of tickets and 56% of cash on the money line for the Rockets here in this spot. 85% tickets, 74% of cash on the over. This is I believe this is the last game. This is the last game of a road trip here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have won the first 3 against Sacramento, Golden State, and Lakers. On the flip side, this is the Rockets have been really strong. They've won 8 of the last 10 games, 2 in a row, 4 of the last 5. So this is a Rockets team that's playing really well. I think that situationally, this is a bad spot for the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they're on the last game of a road trip. They've won every single one. So this could be easily one of those games where they just overlook it and look to just head on home. And I kind of like this spot for the Rockets. And I'm getting plus 110 on the money line. Sign me up. Houston Rockets plus 110 in this game. I think they're a live underdog in this game, and I'll take a shot with them here. So even our plus 110 over on Bovada for the Houston Rockets in this one. Oh, I forgot to create those. Okay. Rockets money line. There you go. This is a great matchup. Rockets. Yeah, I like the I took the Rockets there. Yes, Cavs lose 2 in a row to Atlanta. Yeah, that was kind of surprising. Thunder money line. I got Houston at plus 3. I wish I got Houston at plus 3. It's a great line. Under 226 as well. There you go. We will continue on where we have 4 games left before we get into the good stuff in the NHL. We have the Los Angeles Lakers and the Utah Jazz. The Lakers 7.5-point road favorites, total of 228.5 in this game. Line opened up 7.5, still a 7.5. Line opened up 233.5 down to 228.5. So we have a 5-point line movement towards the under here as well. 62% of tickets, 64% of tickets, 62% of cash coming in on these Lakers, and the line not really moving. And then we have 77% of tickets, 61% of cash is on the over as well. The line dropping towards the under. Another game I have really no interest in. It would be probably Jazz or nothing if I'm looking to bet a side in this game. But once again, I'm not going to force action in the NBA. So another pass here for me. But Jazz or nothing. Jazz +7. Pass on the LA game. Lean Utah, though. Fakers don't cover on the road. Fair. Lakers need to trade LeBron or make him come off the bench. Yeah, maybe they need to trade LeBron for 5 first-round picks. Okay. But yeah, no, I could see that. But yeah. The Jazz are not covering at home the way they were last year, but I'll keep going in their direction. Fair. We'll keep it going. Dallas Mavericks, Portland Trailblazers. We have the Mavericks 7-point favorites, total of 228.5. Line open up at a 7, still a 7. Line open up 228.5 down to a 227.5. So a line movement towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. 73% tickets, 73% of cash on the Mavericks. Line not moving. 76% tickets, 70% cash is on the over in this game as well. The line ain't moving. So really no help from the market. If anything, it tells me Portland's a live dog in this game. Portland coming in off of a win, though. That's generally not where I want to back the Blazers, is off of a win. But they have been covering as of late. They're 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games, so they've actually been a decent ATS team. On the flip side, the Mavericks are 7-3 straight up and ATS the last 10 games as well. They're coming in on 3 straight wins against Atlanta, New York, and Utah. So they've been playing much better as of late. They're 12-8 straight up, 11-8 and 1 ATS. Ultimately, another spot where I don't have any interest in this game. I guess it would be Portland or nothing, but not a game I'm pulling the trigger on. This NBA slate is kind of a weird one, and I have my couple of spots, but I'm not going to go ahead and fire at the board just to fire at the board there for that one. Should I take Tennessee Titans with the points +6 against Washington? I'm on them. I laid it with Washington. I'm on Washington -6 for that game, if that helps at all. But yeah, I would only look. I took Washington in that game, especially at Tennessee off the big divisional win and Washington off of a couple losses. I think it's a good get-right spot for the Commanders. Pass on New York Knicks game, lean under. It's fair. Portland plus, I lean as well. Mavs. LeBron was -12 last game. Plus, wow. Blazers spread. Yeah, I would only look towards the Blazers in that game for sure. Let's keep it going. Kings and Spurs in this one here. The Kings 5.5-point favorites in this game, total of 225.5. Line open up at a 5.5, still a 5.5. Line open up to 26. It's now 225.5. So move towards the under and then no move on the side. 69% of tickets, 67% of cash on the Spurs in this game. The line not moving, which is kind of surprising. I thought more bets would be on the Kings, but that's kind of interesting to see them not be the Kings not be a public favorite, which doesn't surprise me too much. They've been a terrible team covering this year. The Spurs have been a scrappy dog. 80% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is on the over here as well. Spurs are 10-9 straight up in ATS, 9-10 over under, 2-5 on the road. The Kings 9-11, 7-12-1 ATS, 10-10 over under, 4-6 at home. I have no interest in laying a number with the Kings. You can mark me safe from doing that. They haven't covered. They're 2-8 ATS the last 10 games, and the last time they covered as a favorite, they were 8-point favorites against the Suns and won by 23. Since then, they won but didn't cover against Utah. They lost outright as 4-point favorites against the Hawks. They lost outright as 4-point favorites against the Clippers. They lost outright as 10.5-point favorites against the Nets. They lost outright as 7.5-point favorites against the Blazers. This should be a Spurs play. It should be. But I wish the Spurs wasn't getting so much love as an underdog. You know what happens with public underdogs. They get beat. So that'll ultimately keep me off the Spurs, but I have no interest in the Sacramento Kings in this game at all. Spurs money line, yeah, that'd be the only way I'd look. San Antonio Spurs plus. I took Washington -2 in the over. There you go. Kings -6. There you go. Last game of the day, and then we'll move into the 5-game NHL card. The Denver Nuggets taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Nuggets 2.5-point favorites, total 222.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. Line opened up 2.5, still a 2.5. Line opened up 221. It's up to a 222, so move towards the over here as well. 73% of tickets, 74% of cash is on the over in this spot. 70% of tickets and 66% of cash is on the Nuggets, yet this line's moving against them. Or this line's not moving. It's not moving. Some spots have threes. It got up to a 3 for a split second, but instant buyback on the Clippers there. If you can find a 3, I'm kind of interested in the Clippers in the spot. I like the Clippers as a home dog. Clippers have won 3 in a row against the Nuggets, but the Nuggets had won the previous 7. The Clippers, this is their first game back after a 4-game road trip, though, which is kind of concerning. For the spot-wise, they went 2-2 on that road trip. They covered in 3 of those games, though. The Nuggets are coming in off of a win on the road against the Jazz. And next game, they get Golden State at home. So maybe this is a little bit of a look-at spot for the Nuggets. I would only look Clippers would be my lean, Clippers plus the points. But I think if I leave this card with Nets plus the points, Cavaliers money line, and Rockets money line, I'm happy with my 3 plays. So I'm going to stick with just the 3 plays I got there in the NBA. It would be Clippers or nothing, but no play there. Spurs getting too much love. That's ultimately what kept me off of them. Clippers money line, Nuggies. Clippers are not too great at home. There you go, Clippers money line. All right, we'll make the transition from the hardwood to the ice, where we have 5 games in the NHL, where we have the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Detroit Red Wings here. The Canucks minus 130 favorites in this game, total of 5.5. I think the 5.5 is correct. I have this game projected for 5.63 goals. So this is, I think, a correct number for that. We have the Canucks coming in, winning 3 of their last 4 games. They have one more game on this road trip. They're in Detroit, and then on the 3rd they're in Minnesota. This is a team that they're in the middle of a road trip right now, and they've played well during the road trip. The Red Wings, they're coming in. They had their 2-game winning streak snapped in the last game in a 5-4 loss against the New Jersey Devils. They've been playing better as of late, the Red Wings, but they're still not a team that I'm like woohoo to back. But this Canucks team, I think, is worth fading. When you look at their advanced numbers, it's really bad, actually. And it's mainly their offense. Their offense has been terrible. They're averaging 2.155 expected goals for the last 10 games. They have lost the expected goal battle in 6 straight games in 8 of their last 10. And I get it. It's scary to back the Red Wings. I think the wrong team is favored in this game. And I haven't bet the Detroit Red Wings very often this year, but I'm going to take a shot with Detroit here at the plus price tag to get the day started. I don't think the Canucks should be laying a number here on the road. And I'll take a spot here where I believe there's some value. So Red Wings plus the 110 for me. Red Wings plus the 110 for a little NHL action to start off the day. Grizzlies minus, Indy don't win or win games. Detroit beat them in Indy, and the Pels, Portland, they didn't cover. Yeah. Here we go. Nice 5-game card. All great matchups. Yeah. I like them 3 plays. Yeah. There you go. And shocker, Marcos is against the Nuggets. Wings money line. I like it. Wings money line. Who's in net for the Nuggets? Nuggets are horrible, and they just proved it by how bad they played. They still won that game. But let's take a look to see if we have matchups here or goalie confirmations in this for these games for today's games. This will click. That'll be cool. But yeah, I'll give me a second there. Go Detroit. Yeah. Meant to say Indy don't cover or win. There you go. All good. Cam Talbot confirmed for the Detroit Red Wings. Kevin Lankinen is expected. A 257 goals allowed average, a 909 save percentage this year. Yeah, probably Lankinen. It is it's most likely Lankinen. There. We will continue on. Big number here for the Boston Bruins. We have the Bruins minus 225 favorites in this game with a total of 5.5 in this spot. Let's get back to my projections here in this game. As for the 5.5, yeah, I have this game projected for 5.26 goals. I would only be looking unders in Boston games unless it's system plays for the overs, which Montreal coming in off of a 4-3 loss against the New York Rangers in their last game. Boston coming in off of a 2-1 loss against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I have no interest in the Bruins as minus 250 favorites, but I have really no interest in the Canadians. Yeah, it would be Montreal or nothing for me if I'm betting this game, but I don't like the situation for them. This is a second half of a back-to-back for them. The Bruins had a day off. They're at home. This is a third game of a road trip for the Montreal Canadiens. They do head home after this. They will play the Islanders on the 3rd. So ultimately, not a game I'm going to get involved with. I'm definitely not laying this number on the Boston Bruins. I don't think in the year 2024, the Bruins should be laying minus 250 to anybody. So, yeah, this would be dog or pass. But I'm going to pass in this spot here. It would be Canadians or nothing, but I could see the Bruins winning this game in overtime, or I could see the Bruins winning this game by like 1 goal in regulation or something like that. So just because there's value does not mean I'm going to go ahead and bet it. Plus 1.5, that's not a bad look. It's only minus 130. Usually with your plus 1.5s, they're juiced, but this one's not as bad. Canadians money line. Rivalry game, could see overtime here. The draw is definitely probably worth a look, and you're probably going to get a good price with it being a minus 250 favorite. Let's get into the next one here. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets minus 115 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. And this line's gone up. It's now around minus 140. I was going to say I'm kind of interested in the Blue Jackets at minus 115, but now at minus 140, I don't have any interest in that whatsoever. On the flip side, we have the total at 6.5. That kind of interests me a little bit more. Why is this total 6.5? This has been a Blackhawks team that has gone over a 1 dime in their last 10 games. Granted, this is a Blue Jackets team that's gone over in 7 of their last 10 games, 7-2-1 to the over, including 4 in a row. They've been playing a lot of overs as of late. I have this game projected for 5.78 goals, so I thought this line should be either a 5.5 or a 6. And seeing it at a 6.5, I'm very interested in the under in this game. And I get it. Unders in Columbus games are a little scary. Yeah. Let me take a look at the goaltenders real quick because I kind of want the under in this game. Mrazek confirmed. Merzlikins expected. Yeah, I wanted Mrazek in net if it was going to be if I was going to go ahead and look at an under in this game. I can see it's a semi-early start, a 3 o'clock start, maybe a little bit of a sleepy game here in Chicago. My only worry is this turns into a pond hockey game, but I kind of I'm going to take the under 6.5 in this game at minus 110. I don't take unders very often, but give me the Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets under 6.5. It's minus 110 for this game. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Let's see. Blackhawks money line. I mean, at this number, yeah, that'd be the lean. Blackhawks have been playing better since their line changes, and Columbus is not as good on the road. There you go. Blackhawks been scoring the last 2 games. They scored 2 goals in their last game. They scored 6 against the Stars, but I mean, they've put up at least 3 goals in 2 of their last 10 games. And they just happened to score 6 against the Stars, which made absolutely no sense. Talking about the Stars, let's get into it. The Dallas Stars, minus 140, total 6 in this game. We're finally starting to see some regression here from the Winnipeg Jets. And now the Winnipeg Jets are tied in first in the NHL. They're not running away with the President's Trophy anymore. Right now, they're tied with the Minnesota Wild for first place in the division and first place in the NHL, which sitting with Wild plus 460 to win the division. I think they're very live there. And I would like to fade the Jets going forward a little bit. Is this the spot for it? Maybe. My projections for this game is around a minus 150 price tag for the Dallas Stars. But this line has moved around minus 155 now for the Dallas Stars. So that's going to ultimately probably keep me off the side. Yeah, it'd be Stars or nothing, but I don't want to lay this type of number. I get it. Winnipeg's been struggling a little bit as of late, but that does not mean I want to lay $1.55 to fade them. I would have probably taken the Stars around minus 135, minus 140 range, so maybe on a minus one line. The Jets did beat them in the last matchup. That was a little less than a month ago. It was 4-1 Jets in that game. The Jets have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Their only game they've won was against the Wild. And they're on a long road trip right now, which they're finally starting to show their true colors. And this is the last game of the road trip. And then they play one game against the Blues and then hit the road again for Buffalo and Chicago. So this is a tough scheduling situation for the Winnipeg Jets. And I would only look towards the Dallas Stars in this game. I would probably lay the minus one line. Definitely not going to take the money line at minus 155. But let's take a look here. Yeah, the best number I can get is 145 over on ESPN Bet with the plus 170 puck line. I'm going to take the Stars in this game on the minus one line. I'll take the Stars on the minus one line. It's plus 110. I think that this is a Winnipeg Jets team that is fadeable over the next few games. Now, I'm not as high on the Dallas Stars either. That's why I took a piece of the Avalanche and the Wild at a unit each. But this does lead me to believe that this is a fadeable Jets team going forward. And I'll take the Stars minus one in this game. A little revenge from the last game as well. So Dallas Stars minus 1, minus 110 for this game here. I'll look for them to step up in a little bit of a revenge game here against the Winnipeg Jets from the last one. Jets money line, yeah. Every dog so far, there you go. Lean Jets. Stars overvalued as always. Fair. I think they'll be value betting against the Jets going forward, though. I do think that. Final game of the day. We went through a nice brisk pace. We went through 11 games in the NFL, 10 in the NBA, and we're on our last of 5 games in the NHL. And it took us an hour and 2 minutes. All right. Very efficient today. Let's get into it. The Ottawa Senators and the Anaheim Ducks. We have the Sens as minus 160 favorites, total of 6 in this game. I have this game projected for 6.34 goals. So I do see a little bit of value on the over. One thing I was kind of looking at is why the hell are the Ottawa Senators laying this number? I think the Jets. I think that this should be at the very worst a pick in this game. The Ducks have been the Ducks have been playing better as of late. Now, granted, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, but previous to that, they'd won 3 in a row. So granted, this is still a rebuilding Ducks team. I get that. But this is Ducks or Packs. There's no way you're going to catch me laying $1.60 on the road with the Ottawa Senators. Not going to happen. The only question is, do I want to take the plus 140 with the Anaheim Ducks? And that can easily be answered by, let's see how the early games go. If we go through and the under hits in Chicago and the Red Wings win, and we're looking at 2-0 heading into the Stars game, and maybe they're up 1-0 early or something like that, maybe I'll take a shot on the Ducks. And I have a feeling this line can rise a little bit more because we've seen the line move towards the Sens. I see no value in the Ottawa Senators whatsoever in this game. This is Ducks or nothing, and I might add the Ducks a little bit later in the game and later in the day. So it's absolutely Ducks or nothing for me. Speaking of overvalued, Ducks money line. There you go. Ducks have been playing well lately. Yeah, they've lost 3 or 4, but they made it overtime one of those games. They've received points in 2 of the last 4. They've actually received points in 5 of the last 7 games. So they've been playing better as of late. And Duck plus 1.5 there. But that is everything for today's card. Want to thank you guys as always for watching. If you guys want to participate in the monthly contest here, members only. So I believe we have 9 eligible participants at the moment. And it's still unlimited picks. You can put in anything you want as per sides, totals, money lines, team totals, player props are all good. No parlays, no plays over minus 300. If you hit negative 20 units, you're eliminated. But yeah, I know it's annoying. You have to have a membership, whatever. It's $5.99 a month. The prize is $50 for this first month here. And if we can get up to 20 members by the start of January, by the new year, if we can get to 20 members by the new year, it'll be $100 contest for January. So the more members we have, the bigger contests we can run. So if you guys want to participate in that, you can join the channel as a member for $5.99 a month, and that gets you an entrance right there. It gets you an entrance into the contest. It also gives you our cards we post for members only. It gets you early access to free pick videos. It gets you access to the college basketball spreadsheet, the college football spreadsheet, and the my NHL spreadsheet as well. So it gives you access to all of that, as well as entering into a contest that you could potentially win $50. So there you go. With that, there you go. Best of luck, everybody. Yes, I did. I gave you that, and you have access until March 1st. So there you go. There you go. Such a bad day yesterday. Put 5 units on Air Force to have a comeback, and it hit minus 5.5. Wow, there you go. It was so risky, but the Air Force these last few weeks have been amazing. There you go. But that is everything for today's card. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, everyone.